Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are going to be reviewing King and Queen of the Ring. We'll talk about the matches that happened on the card. If you like anything like wrestling gaming highlights, like talking about wrestling or reading books, then hit the subscribe button. Also, if you can leave a like on this video, it would be very much appreciated. Alright, so they're going to be looking at Bleacher Report again. So WWE King and the Queen of the Ring results, winners, live grades, reaction, and highlights. A new King and Queen of the Ring were set to be crowned Saturday as WWE returned to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The premium live event, or he'll just say pay-per-view, not only featured the culmination of the women's and men's tournaments, but also saw undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes defend his title against United States champion Logan Paul. Did Cody Rhodes retain the belt he took from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? Or did Paul continue his unprecedented rise in professional wrestling by capturing its most coveted prize at the Jeddah Superdome? Find out with this recap of WWE's latest international event. To open up the show, it was the Women's World Championship match. It was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, with Becky Lynch defending the Women's World Championship against Liv Morgan. Dominic Mysterio revealed before Saturday's match that he flew to Jeddah to ensure Liv Morgan did not win the Women's World Championship. It did not go according to plan. Morgan defeated Becky Lynch in a banger of an opener at King and Queen of the Ring, capturing the title previously held by Rhea Ripley and writing the latest chapter in her revenge tour. The chemistry between Lynch and Morgan had been on display in their previous encounters, but this was another level. With the roles reversed and Morgan working as a heel, the match was even better. So, yeah. The near falls were there, the crowd was invested, and the interference by Mysterio was executed in a way that makes him look like a fool on the surface, but also creates questions as to whether something is going on between him and Morgan in the wake of Ripley's injury. It also creates further dissension within the Judgment Day, as evidenced by World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest's post-match tweet. The entire person, the tweet says, "What from bad to worse?" So, yeah. The entire presentation of the match and its closing angle was excellent. A phenomenal way to kick off the show. Result: Morgan defeated Lynch to win the title. Grade A. Top moments and takeaways. Michael Cole and Corey Graves put over Morgan's recent second-place finishes, including the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, and the Battle Royal to crown the Women's World Champion, setting the stage for that story to play out. The commentary team has done a far better job of doing that under the new creative regime. This is her first shot at a singles championship in 2 years, Cole said of Morgan. That could have been another story thread utilized during the lead-in to this match. Morgan is a former women's champion, but this felt like the first title match she could realistically win. It's a testament to how badly she was booked during her reign and how strong she has been presented since returning. Lynch applied the disarmor and Morgan countered into the Rings of Saturn, only for Lynch to counter back to her finisher in a cool spot. He thought this match was alright. He's not a huge fan of either woman. He doesn't know if that's a unpopular opinion, but that's just what he thinks. They had a weak match in his opinion. It was a weak opening match for this pay-per-view right here, in his opinion. And next up was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Beloved by the fans in Saudi Arabia, Sami Zayn successfully retained the Intercontinental Championship in the night's next match, defeating Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed in a triple threat match, but not without controversy. Late in the bout, Gable berated Otis for not attacking Zayn on his orders. The big man fired up and attempted to clothesline the champion, only to accidentally level his coach and cost him the match. The action preceding that moment was strong, with some great three-way spots and a jaw-dropping top suicida from Reed. Zayn stayed in the battle, and when the time came, he rocked the largest competitor in the match with his trademark haluva kick. Who steps up to Zayn next bears watching, but just as intriguing is what happens next with Alpha Academy. Result: Zayn defeated Gable and Reed to retain. Grade B+. Top moments and takeaways. The "You Suck" chants for Gable are enormous. That chant used to be reserved for another U.S. Olympian, Cole said, referencing Kurt Angle. Zayn remains among the most popular superstars in Saudi Arabia. The crowd turned on their cell phone cameras and waved them as he unloaded rights on Gable. Gable appeared to suffer a potentially serious ankle/shin injury after Reed caught Zayn mid-flight and drove him onto the other challenger's lower extremities. He returned to the ring with a picture-perfect moonsault to the monster heel for a close 2 count in a cool spot. The champion delivered a Blue Thunder Bomb on Reed, prompting Graves to say, "I just saw it with my very own eyes, and I still don't believe it. Great call." Gable delivered a double-stack German suplex to both opponents in an extraordinary spot. He thought this match was alright. He will agree that Chad Gable doing the double German suplex to both guys was a cool spot. The match was fine. For a triple threat match, it was very weak. There have been so many better triple threat matches than this match. He thinks it's among some of the weakest triple threat matches the WWE has ever done. So it was a very, very weak match in his opinion. Alright, next up we have the Queen of the Ring final. It was Lyra Valkyria. If he botched that name, his bad, versus Nia Jax. Lyra Valkyria's monumental rise through the ranks in WWE ended in disappointment Saturday as Nia Jax defeated her to become Queen of the Ring. The former NXT Women's Champion shined, throwing everything she had at her bigger and stronger opponent. Unfortunately, it was her determination that failed her. During a sunset flip powerbomb off the ropes, Valkyria failed to muster the power she needed to bring Jax to the mat. Instead, the irresistible force dropped straight down, delivering what Graves called the gnarliest annihilator for the pinfall victory. The match was good, with a solid David versus Goliath story at play. Valkyria looked great. Jax dominated and sold when necessary, and the result was an easy-to-follow story. The win sets Jax up as the next challenger for Bayley's WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. She has put in the work and will be a great foe for the role model. For Valkyria, this was but the first of many pay-per-view appearances. She will continue to thrive and has been a priority for the creative team. A loss like this, where she easily could have upset Jax had it not been for her overzealousness, does nothing to hurt that. Expect great things from both women in the weeks and months to come. Result: Jax defeated Valkyria to become Queen of the Ring. Grade B. Top moments and takeaways. The WWE production team presented Valkyria as a star during her entrance. Extraordinary stuff that will only further help fans accept her as a star. The Valkyrie frustrated Jax early on, countering everything she threw at her until the heel's power game took over. He doesn't have much to say about this match. This match was alright. He's not a huge Nia Jax fan. So yeah, don't have much to say about this match. So time to go to the next match. This match was fine. It was fine. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the King of the Ring final. It was Walter versus Randy Orton. It was a clean sweep for the heels Saturday in Jeddah, as Walter won the King of the Ring tournament, out-wrestling and capitalizing on the battered body of Randy Orton to earn the win and capture the crown. A grueling physical match saw both competitors beat the life out of each other, punishing each other in pursuit of the King of the Ring crown and a shot at their brand's world title at SummerSlam. Orton did some of the best selling of his career, putting over the injured back and bad knee that had been established before the match. Weaknesses the ring general exploited. The back prevented him from following up another RKO, while the bad knee kept him from putting proper weight on the pinfall after a second. So yeah. This allowed Walter to grab hold of him, execute a crucifix roll-up, and score the win. Orton's shoulder was clearly up during the pinfall attempt, but outside of a brief mention by Graves on commentary, it was not mentioned beyond that. It could play into a storyline moving forward or be dropped completely. Regardless, this was the banger match everybody hoped it would be, between two guys with a penchant for paying attention to the little things. Walter looked great. Orton reminded everybody, that he is still among the best workers of all time, and the match wrapped up a strong tournament with credibility. Walter will now challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Conversely, Triple H revealed backstage moments later that Damian Priest would defend the title against Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. Will WWE roll into SummerSlam with a heel versus heel title match? The result: Walter defeated Orton to win the King of the Ring. Grade A. Top moments and takeaways. The atmosphere was electric from the start and only amplified with the stare down at the opening bell. Walter straight up chopped the Viper right off his feet at a point in time in the match. So, yeah. Orton delivered an RKO from out of nowhere, but his battered body prevented him from pinning his opponent. When he finally moved toward the ring general, Walter wisely rolled out of the ring. The call from Cole and Graves for this match is an instant classic. This was as good as they have ever been as a tandem. This match was alright. He disagrees with what Bleacher Report said about this match being a banger. This was a weak match, and a weak match for a King of the Ring final in his opinion. Actually wouldn't have minded if Randy Orton won and became the King of the Ring. Don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but it's what he thought. The match just did not deliver, in his opinion. Also, speaking about the finish, with Bleacher Report saying that after Randy hit the RKO, and while the bad knee kept him from putting proper weight on the pinfall, this allowed Walter to grab hold of him, execute a crucifix roll-up, and score the win. And Orton's shoulder being up, I don't think the match should have ended like that. I think we just could have had Walter hit like a power bomb like he usually does, or the splash, and have him just pin Randy with both of his shoulders on the mat. People have said this could be maybe, like, even Bleacher Report, they said something about it being they said outside of a brief mention by Graves on commentary, it was not mentioned beyond that. It could play into a storyline moving forward or be dropped completely. I don't think it needed to end like that. I think the match could have just ended, with Randy Orton both shoulders being down. And, but the match was fine in his opinion. Alright, so the main event, it was Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul for the Undisputed WWE Championship, with Cody Rhodes defending the Undisputed WWE Championship against Logan Paul. United States Champion Logan Paul did everything he could to try to take the Undisputed WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes, including breaking out his brass knuckles on 2 separate occasions, but Cody Rhodes would not be denied. Rhodes overcame an attack to the ribs with the weapon and a late low blow to stay in the fight. Saudi Arabian actor and comedian if he's gonna botch this name, and he's so, just be prepared for him to botch this. Ibrahim Al-Hajjaj, who was the special guest announcer, prevented the challenger from using the brass knuckles again, and the distraction allowed the champion to deliver 3 consecutive crossroads and retain the gold. The gold. The match only further solidified Paul as among the best big match performers in WWE despite his inexperience, while providing Rhodes with another successful title defense early in his reign. This was a great main event that had the fans buying into the idea that Paul might actually take the title, a testament to the work of both men involved and the story they laid out. While it did not happen Saturday, the YouTuber winning the WWE title should not be counted out. There are wrestlers on television every week who do not do the little things that he has already mastered. Working with Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Ricochet, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Rhodes certainly has not hurt him. With a personality that demands fan investment, Paul is champion material. Result: Rhodes defeated Paul to retain his title. Grade A. Top moments and takeaways. The crowd in Jeddah exceeded all expectations, bringing incredible energy throughout the show. Rhodes dropped down to punch up at Paul, but the challenger blocked him and proved he has been studying the champion. After ramming Rhodes into the ring steps, Paul focused on his opponent's midsection, even breaking out an octopus submission. Cole correctly attributed the move to Antonio Inoki, to which Graves responded, "Made more famous by Logan Paul." Cole followed with, "That will make some people angry." While Rhodes was preoccupied, business manager Jeff handed Paul a pair of brass knuckles, which the heel used on the injured ribs of the champion. Paul delivered another viral high spot, delivering a frog splash from the top rope and driving Rhodes through the commentary table. This match is alright. Logan has had better matches than this. The match against Seth at WrestleMania 39 was better than this. The triple threat match at WrestleMania 40 was better than this. He will agree, when Rhodes dropped down to punch up at Paul, but the challenger blocked him and proved he has been studying the champion. That was a good spot. And then the other spot, Paul delivered another viral high spot, delivering a frog splash from the top rope and driving Rhodes through the commentary table. He liked the way the camera angle was. I think the camera was like spinning around Logan Paul before he hit the frog splash or something like that. That was a good spot. But overall, the match itself, this was a fine match, and it was another week main event. So, another week main event for the pay-per-views that have happened this year. Continuing on with Bleacher Report here. Overall grade. This was the best Saudi Arabia-based pay-per-view yet. Every match delivered up to expectations, with several exceeding them. Morgan winning the Women's World title from Lynch in the opener set the tone. The three-way dance for the Intercontinental title enhanced it, and the 2 tournament finales each offered their own positives en route to crowning top contenders to championship gold in Jax and Walter. When it looked like the show could not eclipse what Walter and Orton achieved, Rhodes and Paul put an exclamation point on the broadcast. Stories were advanced, long-deserving stars were highlighted, the women's division shined with 3 matches and more competitors, 8, than their male counterparts, and WWE continued its hot streak in 2024. Grade A. So, yeah. There was no match of the night on the show, in his opinion. Every match was weak. He thinks Cody Rhodes as champion has been very weak so far. He thinks Cody's reign as champion has been very weak so far. The 2 title defenses he's had just have not delivered, in his opinion. Another weak match from Cody's reign as champion, in his opinion. He didn't see a lot of matches from the tournament, but the match he did see was Ricochet versus Dragunov. It was a match that was just alright to him. Just don't understand why people thought the match was top tier. This was just another weak pay-per-view, continuing the trend of weak pay-per-views that have happened this year. or continue the trend of weak WWE pay-per-views that have happened this year, in his opinion. So commenting on some of what Bleacher Report said on their overall grade, he does not agree that this was the best Saudi Arabia-based pay-per-view. He's only seen 2 of them so far. Well, actually, that's not true. Night of Champions last year was in Saudi Arabia, right? He thinks so. If he wasn't, then if he's not correct, then yeah, his bad. But if it was, that was a weak show, and then Crown Jewel was also a weak show. Every match, then they said every match delivered up to expectations, with several exceeding them. Talking about this show, completely disagree. Morgan winning the women's world title from Lynch in the opener set the tone. That was a very weak opening match. The 3-way dance for the Intercontinental title enhanced it. Completely disagree. It just continued the weak. Matches that happened on the show. It was just continuing the trend of weak matches that happened on the show. And then the 2 tournament finales each offered their own positives en route to crowning top contenders to championship gold in Jax and Walter. Completely disagree. Don't think either winners. Either of the winners deserved it, in his opinion. So yeah. Continuing on. When it looked like the show could not eclipse what Walter and Orton achieved, Rhodes and Paul put an exclamation point on the broadcast. Both matches were weak, and yeah. Stories were elevated. Long-deserving stars were highlighted. The women's division shined with 3 matches. Completely disagree. Then their male counterparts, and WWE continued its hot streak in 2024. Also disagree. And now they're gonna go back and give, and he's gonna go. Now they're gonna go back and he's gonna give his grades for the show. So the Women's World Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, with Becky Lynch defending the Women's World Championship against Liv Morgan. Bleacher Report gave the match their grade was an A. He'll give it a C. Moving on to the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Bleacher Report's grade for the match was a B+. He'll give it a C+ for the because of the double stack German suplex spot. So yeah, that match gets a C+. So moving on to the Queen of the Ring final, Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. If he bots that name, again, his bad. Moving on to, so the Bleacher Report's grade for the match was a B. He's going to give it a D. Moving on to the King of the Ring final, Randy Orton, or Walter versus Randy Orton. The Bleacher Report's grade for the match was an A. He'll give it a C. And then the main event, the Undisputed WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, with Cody Rhodes defending the Undisputed WWE Championship against Logan Paul. Bleacher Report's grade for the match was an A. He'll also give the main event a C as well. So, yeah. So the overall grade that he's going to give the show, is a D. If you like anything like wrestling gaming highlights, like talking about wrestling or reading books, then hit the subscribe button. Also, if you can leave a like on this video, it would be very much appreciated. And if you want to know more about when things are coming out on the channel, you can go to Twitter, where the username is @Batman2063. And on Instagram, where the username is the same as the YouTube channel name. But if you want to follow, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. Bye.